You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Wisdom Wednesday presented by DraftKings. We got Kareem Jackson, 14th year safety in the NFL from the Denver Broncos in the house. Talk to Kareem momentarily. Looking forward to that. Love those of you that spread the word via social media. I'm at Ross Tucker NFL. We are at Ross Tucker Pod. Engage in any way, I don't care, repost or quote post or comment or love or whatever on any of the platforms, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and you got a chance to win a signed picture, signed press pass, whatever you want. Same thing if you take advantage of one of the sponsors that you hear me talk about on the show or that you see over at rosstucker.com on the sponsor tab. Love the YouTube shout outs as well. Make a YouTube comment. I'll do a video specifically for whoever you want me to do the video for. Just go to youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL, hit the subscribe button, and reply to any video. And you can even just say, hey, Ross, just looking for a shout out for my buddy, my wife, whatever it is. I don't care. Speaking of shout outs, if you become a patron, you get a shout out. It's that easy. You become a member of our private Tuck Heads channel, Slack channel, you get a shout out and you get the even money bets in black and white. Today's shout out goes to Alec Pramis. Welcome to the family, Alec. It is Big Show time.
The Big Show.
Man, I can't believe this guy is still going year 14, aged 35. Anybody that plays into their 30s impresses me, let alone 35 in year 14. The safety for the Denver Broncos, Kareem Jackson. Kareem, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so I want to go all the way back. You're a rookie. You get drafted by the Texans to play corner, first-round pick. Is there any part of you that thought you'd be playing 14 years later? Like, what was going through your head back then?
I mean, obviously, at that point in time, I didn't know I would be playing 14. My goal was to play 10. And what happened was I got to 9 and Denver signed me to a 3-year deal. And I played those 3 out. And, I mean, I still felt pretty good. You know, I was still playing at a high level. I was healthy. Thankful for that. So, and, you know, I've just been able to keep it rolling. I mean, and you know, obviously it takes a lot. It takes a lot of off-season work, takes a lot of recovery, a lot of different things that you know, I have to do to obviously have my body ready to go. But I mean, but we're here.
So I was reading, by the way, Kareem, is it true that in high school you were a running back, you go to Fork Union, they move you to corner, or they play you at corner, and then the next year you're starting as a true freshman at Alabama?
That is true. That is true. High school, I was just on the offensive side of the ball, just played running back. Maybe every now and then they'll throw me in, but I think the most I might have played defense, maybe 3 plays, 1 game or something like that. But yeah, I was full-time running back. And like you said, Fort Union. I was committed to Vanderbilt, and they started to kind of talk about, you know, playing defense and stuff. So going to they actually sent me to Fort Union. So I played corner there, which was my first time playing, you know, full-time defense. And after that, you know, the rest is history.
Are you surprised that it was that easy? I mean, for you to just switch to Fork Union, next thing you know, you're playing corner. Now you're at Alabama starting as a true freshman. Like, it's not supposed to be that easy, right? It was just natural for you?
It was pretty natural. I wasn't surprised because I felt like I could do it. I was always one of those guys, obviously playing around with friends and stuff in the yard. You know, obviously having to play a little bit of DB and playing, like I said, what we call sideline tackle in the streets and stuff. But like I said, I would play it a little bit, but I knew I was capable of doing it, so it wasn't a hard change at all.
So, Kareem, I retired in 08. So when you got drafted, I had just kind of gotten started in the media. And I remember, I don't know if it was your first year or second year, maybe your third year, but correct me if I'm wrong. Did you get benched, and was there talk that, oh man, Kareem, that might not have been a good pick? And in my memory somewhere, I remember there being like some concern about you. And then the next thing I know, the Texans gave you like a huge contract like a year or two later. Walk me through what happened there, because I forget.
Yeah, my rookie year I struggled, and this one of the stories that I share with a lot of the younger guys that are going through those growing pains, of being in the league, coming fresh out of college and having a ton of expectations, kind of placed on their shoulders. Obviously, for me, being drafted 20th pick overall in 2010, I was expected to be the guy, right away. Rightfully so. You get drafted the first round, usually 9 times out of 10, they're expecting you to be the guy at your spot. So I struggled my rookie year. I mean, obviously didn't have a lot of guys in my room that could help me. Glover Quinn was huge for me in that particular year, but at the same time, he was just a year in front of me, so he was still figuring things out as well. But yeah, I struggled my rookie year. My second year, we signed Jonathan Joseph. I think they ended up bringing in Jason Allen too, who was a veteran guy, and me and him kind of rotated a little bit, like the beginning of my second year, and then I kind of beat him out because getting Vance Joseph and getting Jonathan Joseph, those are two guys that was huge for me in my career. Also, Aaron Glenn as well. Aaron Glenn, after my rookie year, because he's obviously played in Houston for a long time, called me up one day and had me come over to his place, and we sat down. We talked for a few hours, and he basically asked me what I wanted out of my career, and I, basically told him, what I wanted. I told him I wanted to play 10 years. I told him I definitely wanted to turn things around because, I mean, I know what type of player I am. I just needed, to learn some tools and throw away some bad habits that I had when it came to, technique and all of those things. So those are three guys that helped me started getting my career going in the right direction. So my second year I started to take off, and my third year, I was even better. And from there, like I said, my game started to take off, and the rest is history.
That is awesome. I love when people shout out the folks that helped them along the way. I love that. And then at some point, you moved to safety. So when did that happen? And right away, it seemed like when you went to safety, that kind of came natural too. Like that's not normal, man. You're not supposed to go from running back to corner like that, corner to safety like that. But it seemed like that was a pretty quick fit too.
Yeah, it was. And when I was in Houston, we would have some packages where I would play safety a little bit because we were so deep. At one point in time, we had a ton of guys in our room. It was Kevin Johnson, who was another first round pick, Jonathan Joseph, AJ Boye, who signed a huge deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We were deep at corner, so we had to do some different things to try to get guys on the field. So I ended up my first couple of years I would play all outside, and then I started to play the nickel. And then when I think when AJ game started to kind of come on, I would slide to the dime a little bit. From there, I play a little bit of safety. So my last year in Houston was supposed to be my first year playing all safety because we signed Tyron, and me and him were supposed to be the safeties. And then we had a couple injuries, so I had to go back to corner. But my first real true season at playing safety was my first year here in Denver with Coach Fangio. And playing safety, I mean, I was a guy. I'm a guy that just naturally just kind of runs around and knock the hell out of people. So it was I feel like it was me coming home.
So speaking of that, I wanted to congratulate you, at least as of now. Not only did you guys get your first win, but I think it might have been your first game this year where you didn't get fined. Is that right?
We'll wait and see. They usually don't get them to me until about Thursday, so we'll wait and see. I don't think I did anything malicious as far as hits or anything else, but we'll wait and see. But I would like to say this will be my first week not getting fined.
Dude, I can't believe it how much the fines are now. I mean, I saw like where Jalen Warren, the running back for the Steelers, he put his head down to take on a guy, 50 grand. 50 grand. I remember Kareem in '02. I had a late hit and they fined me $5,000. I was like, I mean, I couldn't. That's a lot of. I was my second year. I was making the second year minimum, so I appealed it. They cut it down to 500, which was nice. But now you guys are getting fined like serious money.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand, man. I think the lowest fine might be a uniform violation, and that's going to cost you at least 5,200. Everything else from there just goes up, and they always say if you get another one, we're going to double it. Man, it's completely out of hand. The fine systems, the referees, and what they're throwing the flags on, and that's causing guys to get fined. It's crazy. I got fined the first week for a hit where the guy he slipped and kind of changed the angle of my tackle. I was going to go low. It started raining. I was going to go low. He slipped and was kind of changed the angle of the tackle, and I got fined for it. And you do these appeals and they give you back half your money, but it's still some BS. It's like you're taking money from me for these things that I'm not out here trying to maliciously hurt people or do anything. And then now they're getting uniform fines. They're finding you to say your pants not covering your knees. It was at one point in time when I first came in the league, like everybody had on little pants, no pads, no nothing. And now it's just like, all right, well, we're gonna figure out how to get this money back from you guys some kind of way. But it's completely out of hand.
So I saw the hit Kareem week 2 on Logan Thomas when he went up high in the end zone. That's a tough one because he's such a big dude and the ball was high too. So obviously I know how you're trying to go up there and separate him from the ball. Does it bother you? I mean, here you are, year 14, and because of the way this season started, I've seen on social media or whatever, people acting like you're a dirty player. Does that bother you?
Does it bother me that people say I'm a dirty player? No, that doesn't bother me. And in those cases, I talked to those guys. I talked to Jacoby Myers from week 1. I talked to Logan right after the game. I'm not out there to hurt anybody, but I am out there to impose my will. That's why that what make me the player that I am. That's who I am. Like I play the game with the intent to impose my will. That's what safety's about. It was one point in time where, guys, got praised for, you know, hitting guys hard. You got guys in the Hall of Fame because that's what they did, and now they want you to apologize for it. So, I mean, that's my style of play. I'm not out there to hurt anybody, but I am out there to impose my will. And in those situations where you hit a guy hard early in the game, and later on he know he's going to get hit. Maybe that's a situation where we make a play or we cause a turnover. In those situations, but for them to say that I'm a dirty player, nothing throughout my career suggested I'm a dirty player other than I knock the hell out of people. That's what I do, But other than that, that definitely doesn't bother me.
Well said. And I'm going to impose my will on some Labatt Blue Lights this weekend with my friends, maybe with my family. Live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly beer. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. Let's talk about the defense in Denver, Kareem. First few games, not great. First half against the Bears, not good. What happened in the second half last week? I mean, it's like you guys flipped the switch, totally shut them down.
Yeah, I just think as a group, myself included, we just got to a point where we did things the right way that second half. We that Dolphins game, a ton of missed tackles, a ton of uncertainty as far as guys not being on the same page. Same thing starting the game, this past week. But second half, obviously, we kind of settled in and, did things the right way, and I tell the guys all the time, man, if whatever 11 guys out there, we're executing, we're communicating, we're a pretty damn good group, a pretty good group if we do it the right way.
Curious, Kareem, since you were there last year and now obviously you're there with Sean Payton, just the biggest difference between Sean Payton and Nathaniel Hackett now that the Jets are coming to town on Sunday?
Um, I'll say, obviously Sean is definitely old school coach. And I'm kind of used to it because I've been around, old school coaches. Obviously, having Coach Saban,
Yeah.
and Bama, and those guys, both for him and Sean from that same Belichick Parcells tree. Yeah, I definitely say Coach Sean is definitely old school. He's all about keeping your head down and working. And basically he'll be like, "Look, I'll tell you when there's light at the end of the tunnel." But he's definitely about working. And don't get me wrong, we worked when we was here with Coach Hackett as well. But definitely two different styles. When I talk about communicating to the player and things like that, Sean's one of those coaches that he's not going to leave nothing unsaid, and he's going to be the one communicating and saying everything. Coach Hackett had his ways of doing things as well. Two completely different styles, but I definitely, like I said, I enjoyed my time with Coach Hackett. I have a great relationship with him. And even now, I'm enjoying Coach Sean being here as well because he's a great leader and a great teacher.
Last one, Kareem, just your thoughts on the Jets. I don't know how much of the tape you've had a chance to watch, or maybe just checking out their Sunday night game if you got a chance to see some of that against the Chiefs. You got Zach Wilson and the Jets on Sunday. It's one of the bigger games of the week. Your thoughts on what you saw from Zach?
Yeah, talk about a talented group from the running back spot. Till Zach Wilson and also the receivers as well. Got a ton of talent. He's a guy that he's a dual threat guy. For us, we have to make him one dimensional. He had a pretty good game against the Chiefs, and I'm sure he'll want to build on that, and I'm sure their coaching staff will want to do some of the similar things. Put him in situations where he can be comfortable and make some easy throws and get him going early. For us, we have to definitely keep him in the pocket, make him one dimensional. And have to be sticky in coverage because they got some guys that can catch the ball and and create some problems for us. So, like I said, if we do it right, I think we'd be pretty tough to beat.
Kareem, in all sincerity, man, 14 years, age 35. That is insane, bro. Congratulations. That is really, really impressive. Keep it rolling. Stay healthy. You got any social media, anything you want, a foundation or anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Kareem Jackson Foundation. You can check out KareemJacksonFoundation.org. We have a ton of events throughout the year. I think we have a Pretty in Pink event coming up. We haven't set a date yet for it, but we're always updating the website. My social media is Ringboy25 on all platforms. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you as well.
Love talking with Kareem. Look, he was opinionated, and he's had some. The Logan Thomas one was rough this year for sure because he launched himself up towards Logan Thomas's head. But I also say when you got a 6'6" target and the ball's high, like I think you naturally launch yourself or propel yourself to where the ball's going. At any rate, I'll let you guys make your own judgments and decisions there. I'm not letting you make your own judgments and decisions when it comes to what tickets you should buy. Because there's no question. You should buy tickets on the Game Time app. What I really love about it is not only do I like it, but I've gotten so many emails now and tweets. We even get YouTube comments, youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL, from people saying, "Ross, what's the ticket place again? I'm going to be in New York this weekend. What's the last minute ticket place that has the guarantee?" It's the Game Time app. And I'm like obsessed with it. No matter what city I'm going to, I check the Game Time app to see what other shows are going to be around, what other games. And I'm always curious about the ticket price for the game I'm calling. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ROSS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So again, create an account and redeem code ROSS, ROSS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Tuck's Takes.
All right, Ross, we'll start the Bills. Tre'Davious White has officially torn his Achilles.
By the way, it's funny, Jack. Not that we need to have active players on every week, but it is cool. I do like talking with those guys, active guys about what's going on in the league and what's going on with their team at the time. It is a cool conversation.
Yeah, it's always nice hearing about the matchup that week and stuff like that, especially when somebody like Zach Wilson that everybody's kind of have their eye on.
Right. It's interesting that he went right to dual threat, right to talking about like the run element that Zach Wilson brings. By the way, I'm about to sneeze. Everybody prepare yourself for me about to sneeze, because I am about to sneeze. I'm trying to hold it in. Probably would have been better off if I just let it go. All right. I just gave play-by-play. I was able to hold it in. Horrible, horrible injury for the Bills. Horrible. I don't know that corner was a position where they were overly deep. He's their number one guy. I hate injuries like this, especially for a Bills team that was playing as well as they were, especially for Tre'Davious, who just a couple years ago missed a season with a serious injury. It is, I say this every time, it is by far the worst part of the sport.
Some more injury news. Patriots edge rusher Matthew Judon had a torn bicep tendon.
And I'm gonna make this, Jack, my Labatt take of the week. Presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Canadian Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. Matthew Judon's their best player. Matthew Judon's arguably like the face of the team, I guess, along with Mac Jones. And if you look at the roster, who are like the Pro Bowl or All-Pro candidates other than Matthew Judon? The Patriots have a problem. They have a big problem. I know it's early in the season, but where's the hope that things will get better this year? Where's even the hope right now that things will get better next year? I personally don't think that the Kraft family is going to just sit pat and let everything be standard operating procedure moving forward, going into next year if things continue to trend this direction. And I can almost assure you, Belichick's not going to stop coaching until he breaks Don Shula's record. So if you're a Patriots fan, I'd love to know where the hope is right now, because they're going to make some type of change if things go down this path, one way or the other, that probably allows Belichick to keep coaching to try to break the Shula record, but also at least allows the Kraft organization to make it appear as if they're making some sort of substantive change.
Couple of roster moves. Eagles sign quarterback Bradley Roby, and the Giants sign offensive lineman Justin Pugh.
Right, and I even saw the Bears sign safety Duron Harmon. I will say, before I dive into that, we're getting into the fourth quarter of the podcast. In football, the fourth quarter is where the magic happens. It's where games are won, where champions are made. And in business, it's where sales teams become legends. That's why HubSpot built Sales Hub, to give sales reps the deal-making tools they need to win their Q4. Sales Hub's prospecting workspace organizes your schedule, goals, and to-do lists in one place to save your team precious fourth quarter time. And smart sequences help sales reps close deals faster than ever. So get ready to dominate Q4 with Sales Hub. Learn more at HubSpot.com/sales. So the Eagles, Bradley Roby, they lost Avonte Maddox for the year. So this is what Howie Roseman does. He's going to find the best slot corner that's out there, bring him in, see if he's the answer. There's still, 3.5 weeks until the trade deadline. So it gives the Eagles a chance to see whether or not Roby can be the best answer there. And if not, they'll probably go out and get somebody else. Pugh, the Giants are struggling on the O-line, bringing back an oldie but a goodie. And then, I think that's all I got to say.
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says 49ers are the most likely team to win the Super Bowl this year.
He always has interesting stuff to say. I think he's sort of setting this game up so if the Cowboys win, it looks like even a better win. And if they lose, it's like, okay, well, the Niners are really, really good, and perhaps the Cowboys can beat them in the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, they haven't been able to beat them in the playoffs the last couple of years. But I don't know that I'd be saying that if I'm Jerry Jones, especially when you consider that the Eagles are in their division and they have to play them twice. Whatever. I don't know. I think we're done here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network on Samsung TV Plus, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout outs. MyFrontPageStory.com, MyFrontPageStory.com, MyFrontPageStory.com. It is the best gift. You got an anniversary, birthday, or you just want to throw your email address in there, start to get ready for the holidays. LoveBackOfficeSchedule.com, Go-Bengals.com, SteakhouseSports.com, HumanHeadNYC.com, Sporticulture, and Pizza Boy Brewing.